Hi, I'm Taylor. Welcome back to my channel. I'm going to show you today how you can get an apartment in Kuala Lumpur for under 2,000 ringgit a month. Stay tuned. Well, most of you have probably seen my apartment tour, and that really shows you what you can get for 1,700 ringgit a month. And I'm going to stick with my building to start with and show you the different options there are. Also, people ask me more about the facilities available, and I'm going to go over that too today. We're going to start with my building. It's called M City, and it's actually located in Kuala Lumpur city proper. It is right on the edge, so it's about as far out as you can get, at least on this side of Kuala Lumpur. But it's less than 4 kilometers from the KLCC Twin Towers. I recently did a search and saw that there were over 38,000 apartments available under 3,000 ringgit a month. That's amazing. So you're just going to be spoiled for choice, that's for sure. Currently in my building, M City, there's about 400 units for rent. So you have plenty of choice here too. Now they're all different. And most of them are furnished because I think that's what people are mostly looking for in a rental here. But as I explained before, during my search, I just wasn't happy at all with what the furniture was offered, and so decided to get one that was unfurnished so I could do it myself. And I've been really happy that I've done that. It's also a little less expensive per month too. M City was completed in 2016, so it's a pretty new building. Or not that old by KL standards anyway. I've noticed that the older the building gets, the less rent they can get for it. So if you're willing to live in someplace a few years older, you're going to pay less rent. I know my apartment in Penang, which was, almost 15 years old now, was such a deal compared to what it would have been even 5 or 6 years ago. What's happening here is that there's just a tremendous building boom, and so there's just tons of competition. You never have to worry about finding a place here. Now about that, what's the best way to find a place here in KL, or in Malaysia in general? I'll tell you the way I did it, and I think it really worked out well for me. First of all, you're going to have to do some research on your own. The websites like iProperty or Property Guru here are a good basic starting point. You can look up and see what's available, or what they say is available, because they really aren't. They're just sort of teasers to get you to call a real estate agent. But I think they do that in the US or most other places too. What I did in my last 2 apartments was I figured out which building I thought I wanted to live in by looking at pictures. And then I found an agent who specialized in that building. Now that really came in handy here at M City, because my agent, Justin, is like Mr. M City, I think. I'll leave his contact below in the description. So let me give you a little tour of M City. I've shown you the grocery store before, but there's like 2 or 3 levels of shops. And no one, I think, really goes on the top 2 levels of the shops, and half the ones on the bottom level are empty. So I think that's just a sign that they've overbuilt retail in the area, or the rents are too high for the retail. You can see here, as I pan the entrance of the building, it's not that impressive. The lobby is pretty, and it was probably gorgeous when it was new, but it's showing signs of wear. Most of the time at the concierge desk, it's just surrounded by seas of packages that they're sorting for people that live here. After all, it is about 1,800 units in the 4 towers. I do think most people either love or hate M City from the outside. I do think it looks sort of post-apocalyptic, but I don't know, it's sort of just modern design, I suppose. Here are several shots of the exterior of the building. I like it sometimes, and sometimes I think it's a bit too severe. What do you think? It certainly has gorgeous views, as you've seen before, and is well located as far as shopping and restaurants and everything else. There's even 2 hospitals within walking distance, which gives you peace of mind if you're ever having a medical emergency. M City has a garden area on level 7, which is interesting and nice for a little stroll. But I found out something early on that I thought was really, really weird. If you go out the door of your tower onto level 7 garden area, and you can stroll through it, and one day I thought, well, I'm gonna go this way, and I'm gonna go down to the end, which is 2 buildings down, and go back in that way, and go down the elevator, and then I'll be right by the grocery store. Well, the thing is, you can only go in the door that's for your tower. Now, to me, that's kind of silly because you can walk the corridor inside between the towers. So once you get in, you can go between the towers freely. It just didn't make any sense to me. That's another thing. The security is pretty tight. Your key card will only let you to your floor, the floor the pool is on, 23, the floor the gym is on, 25, and level 7. And of course, you don't need the key card for any of the parking levels or the lobby. There's several different floor plans here at M-City. I'll show you a few here. There's some that are 2 floors and a lot that are just 1 floors. I think 400 units out of the 1,800 are the 2-floor units. I much prefer the 2-floor units because it gives you such a feeling of space. Although in Malaysia, ceiling heights are quite high, usually 10 feet and above. Having your height 22 feet is just sort of incredible and amazing. The security is quite good here. There's someone at every door. Now, they didn't plan this very well because the only place there's a desk for the guards is at the concierge in the main lobby. But there are 4 other lobbies, and they just have to sit around outside on a chair, which isn't that nice for them. And there's a guard on every level of the parking garage, which is a nice feature. But they just have a chair and a table sort of in the middle of the garage, which isn't that nice. Another thing I find a little bit odd is maybe it's not all the guards, but ours stands like at attention when we drive by, which I don't know, seems a little subservient to me and not necessary at all. M-City has several levels where they span both buildings with a park-like area. They call them hanging gardens. It's a pretty cool feature, and I have some pictures of that here too. Here's the entrance to the gym on the 23rd floor. And here's another example of the guard just sitting at a sort of makeshift table outside the gym door. Now, I'm not quite sure why you have to sign in to go to the gym, but you do, and it seems like they should have taken that into planning better when they planned the building. Well, anyway, the gym is very well equipped and has a super amazing view being on the 25th floor. It has all the equipment you could ever need. And I find the view inspirational, even though I don't use it. Here's some video of other buildings in the area. There's just constant construction here. I think this one looks really nice. I think this is probably the case for most buildings this age, which is not that old, really. Probably when they're advertising when it's new, they show all these things like Zumba rooms, meditation rooms, exercise rooms. But from what I can tell, those are just not open anymore. They're still there, but they're all dark, and I guess there just wasn't enough interest in it. If they still exist, I don't see how you would find out about them anywhere. I guess it's just one of those things to try to entice people to buy in the building to start with. Another affordable building near me is the Elements. It's a little bit older. It was completed in 2013, but it's a very lovely building. It has apartments ranging from 650 square feet to about 1,600 square feet. I have a few floor plans of those units too you can look at here. They have some shops too, but nothing like what we have here in M-City. But M-City's virtually just across the street, so people can go shopping there too. They have a lovely pool, as you can see here. The lobby's quite nice. I'm not that impressed with the entrance though. And the gym. It looks okay, but it's nothing like M-City's. There's 10 different apartment layouts at the Elements, so there's a choice and probably something that would suit almost anybody. It has 1,040 units in 2 towers, so it's slightly smaller than M-City. From my research, you can get about a 1,000 square foot apartment there, but for between 1,700 ringgit and 2,200 ringgit. I think the reason I have such a good deal here is that even though I have, almost 900 square feet which is big enough that a lot of places make 3 bedrooms out of that. But I only have 1, so they can't rent it for any bigger than a 1 bedroom. And in fact, it's a loft, so the bedroom's totally open to everything. So I think that's why the price is less. And the selling price is less too. I think you can get one for under 500,000 ringgit. I'm gonna throw in this other sort of oddball place here called Villa Ampang. It's much closer to the KLCC, at least a kilometer closer than we are here at M-City. But it's an older building. It was completed in 2002, which really isn't that old, but it does seem old. They only have 100 units, so for people who like a smaller density, they're gonna like that. But it's only 4 floors, so you're not gonna get your fabulous views like we have at M-City. The prices are about the same for 1,000 square feet, around $2,000. But the apartments just aren't as nice in my opinion. Of course, there's parking too, but look at this pitiful pool. That's so sad, isn't it? Anyway, it's a good option if you prefer something smaller and older. Villa Ampang boasts having the lowest prices for sale of anything in Ampang Hilir, I think. So I hope this helps you understand the rental market here in KL. Hopefully this will help people thinking of retiring here, but also people who live here who are just curious about other units and other buildings. I hope to show you more apartments in other areas of the city too. I also have some exciting news. Next week I'm going to go to Malacca, so that'll be fun. I'm going to do 2 videos from that. One is going to be my weekend in Malacca as a tourist, and the other is going to be part of my series on best cities to retire to in Malaysia. So look forward to both of those. Thanks for watching, everybody. I really appreciate it, and if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I'll be back soon with many more videos. So stay tuned. Talk to you later. Bye.